My dream to resurrect my El Camino is finally coming true. After undergoing major surgery,
Done.
and a week in intensive tube rehab, my lifted diesel El Camino is half muscle car, half monster truck, and half done.
Perfect.
Under my constant supervision, the guys finished up the rear tube chassis, they hooked up the links to the cradle, and checked all the geometry on the 4-link suspension. And now, it's time to install the bypass coilover shocks.
This thing is huge.
That are gonna give the El Camino that smooth ride I've always wanted. Oh, look at that. I love it, man.
Yeah, me too.
Shocked.
You're real punny.
Now, it's gonna go anywhere, do anything. I'm gonna show it off to the world.
When Muscle first showed up at the shop with his El Camino build, I hated it. But the fact that you saw the potential, you took this little ugly duckling and you nurtured it, you helped it spread its wings, and then it turned into this. I gotta say, I'm proud of you.
Really?
How would you like to bring your big, nurtured back to health, beautiful duck and show it off to everybody at the Monster Jam All-Star Challenge?
Really?
Under one condition, it has to be drivable in time for the show.
Yes!
All right, you about ready to get this transmission dialed in?
Oh, man, I've been waiting since season 1 to get this done. Getting the engine to work with the body was our very first challenge in building the El Camino.
I just think the ECM's commanding the injectors not to fire.
Now, making sure that the transmission is getting all the info it needs from the engine to build up enough pressure to get out of first gear is our next challenge. We already took the transmission over to Randy so that he could diagnose the problem.
We're gonna have some internal damage.
Oh, that's great.
Clutch material.
What would the metal shavings be from?
We're gonna have to get the converter cut open. And we got our springs.
Then Randy cleaned up and rebuilt the entire 4L80 transmission
Gear train coming up.
with stronger clutch components so they could handle the torque of the diesel motor.
Okay, boys, last piece to the puzzle.
This is it.
Now it's done.
Now it's done.
We got the new torque converter and the rebuilt transmission back in the revamped chassis for the El Camino, and now it's time to make my baby purr.
We're going to pressure test this transmission. So basically, take this tool right here. We hook it up to the side of the transmission, and it runs into this, basically a transducer, and it reads the pressure of the transmission.
So it's like a blood pressure cuff for the transmission.
Basically. All right. So this is called the mainline pressure tap.
Yeah.
It's basically the gateway to the heart of the transmission.
Gateway to the heart. I love the way you describe that.
It doesn't lie.
Randy already rebuilt the entire transmission, so we know the internal components are good.
So the 4L80 transmission is not exactly, it never came behind a Duramax, so
Yeah.
it's a unique swap.
But if we test the fluid pressure and find out there's not enough to move the clutch packs and shift gears, that means the communication between the transmission and the engine is off. And that's a much, much bigger problem, which means the El Camino won't be ready to take to Monster Jam and show off to the fans.
Clip it into this pressure sensor right here.
Okay?
We're ready to roll, man. So today we're looking for anywhere between 160 to 200 PSI. Obviously, the closer to the 200, we love seeing that, but anything above 160, it's gonna prove to us that the transmission is making the pressure it needs to hold the torque of that Duramax.
Ready for the fuel?
All right, here we go.
On one hand, it feels fantastic to finally be out on the open road inside the El Camino. On the other hand, I'm just praying she hits the numbers that she needs to hit, or at least close.
All right, here we go. We almost got a 180 on that, so we're getting close to that realm. With a little bit of adjusting on the EPC cylinder, we're gonna be right where we need it to be.
Tell you what's nice is I'm finally driving my baby, man.
It's been a while.
My first time I've had it like that in a long time.
The transmission works. Randy's got to do a couple tweaks to the engine controls to make sure that the engine and the transmission are in perfect communication.
Yeah! Dude, that's awesome.
But me, I got to get the El Camino shined up. She's going to be the belle of the All-Star Ball at Monster Jam. All the guys at the shop stayed late and got it done. And now, after years of long struggle, pain, and anguish, new shoes to match the new suspension, KC lights all shining bright, and, ready for this?
What?
Transformed into the Bro Camino.
I thought it was called the Hell Camino.
Think about the kids, David. You want little Charlie May saying HE double hockey sticks? I'm standing in the back of the Bro Camino. I got those same butterflies I get before every single race when I'm driving at Monster Jam. The El Camino has been on a long, long journey. We did major surgery on the El Camino. We cut the back half of the chassis off and replaced it with a stronger tube subframe. We took out the 4L80 transmission that was originally paired up with the Duramax motor and rebuilt it with stronger valve components. We got rid of the old leaf spring suspension and built a completely custom 4-link suspension with triple bypass shocks that we can tune so we can hit the jumps and fly through the air like a majestic eagle and land on a sea of clouds.
All right, here's the deal. Like your suspension, yeah, it does a lot of cool stuff, but it can't defy gravity.
If you can dream it, you can do it. We cleaned up the cosmetics, put it on some 24-inch wheels with 42-inch tires, and gave it a brand new name. The only thing we didn't change was the signature burnt orange paint job, so the fans could recognize it from miles away.
Hey, speaking of fans, I got something I want to show you.
Diesel Dave, listen, buddy.
Are you impressed?
I am very impressed. More than that, though, I'm proud of you. What you've created here is pretty amazing.
Beautiful.
We have another surprise tonight for you and for all the Monster Jam fans. You ready for this? Why don't you take a look up there on the big screen?
It's me.
Yes, sir.
Is that real life? This is the greatest news ever. They're gonna make the Bro Camino into a Monster Jam truck!
This is real life, buddy. No more just sitting around watching these
Bro, when were you gonna tell me that you were talking to Monster Jam about designing me my very own Monster Jam Bro Camino?
Like I'm gonna be out on that track by myself in the Brodozer. I need my buddy next to me. You saw the potential and you made it come to life.
The Bash Brothers out of Monster Jam, this is gonna be epic. Speaking of potential, maybe we should take the Bro Camino back home to Utah so that we can get to work on that potentially amazing Super 6 tracked vehicle for SEMA.
All right, but how about we take the long way to see what she can really do?
Deal.
For the handle, it's night and day difference from what it was. Granted, I never really got out of first gear the first time, but
This is a rough road, and this thing's freaking smooth.
yeah.
That's like trophy truck suspension right there. Jeez.
This is what she was born to do, my friend.